Okay, we are live, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
And we are broadcasting live from Yokohama, Japan to bring to you the world's greatest live stream, the Wonder Looper live stream. It is Saturday, May 24th, 2025 here in Japan, but it is probably Friday, May 23rd, 2025. 23rd, Friday, May 23rd. In the West for you, where you are tuning in from. Welcome, everybody. Again, my name is Bahzad. This is Risa. This is Snowy the Cat. Of course, he jumps in whenever he feels it is necessary. And come on, take a seat. We're here to hang out with you guys for another wonderful week here. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from all around the world. And we've got Solvents here. Hello from Scotto Lando, wearing the double heavyweight long sleeve and Ironheart double duck chinos. Cheers. That's a very beefy heavyweight outfit out there. Hopefully it's cool enough for you out there to be supporting that weight.
I'm sure it's cool enough.
Is it? When does it get warm in Scotland?
Let's just say, even if it gets really warm in Scotland, it's probably not too hot for
heavyweight gear.
Like a heavyweight t-shirt.
I just remember how quickly the weather would change. Just even not even just like throughout the day, but just if you drove up the road like for 15 minutes, because the climate was so different. You have very hilly, mountainous areas here and flat sort of areas over there, and like the weather would just change instantly. It was kind of interesting. BD, hello in a cool southern Ontario. I guess it's cool out there everywhere. Cool southern Ontario.
It's cool here.
It is cool here. FoxFibre socks, FoxFibre indigo jeans, double heavyweight Wonder Looper tee and hoodie, pumped for your guest. Hello from 24/7 Denim. That's right. Mr. BD is 24/7 Denim on the internet, on YouTube. And just to be clear, everybody, I in the newsletter, I mentioned that Sally Fox will be on the live stream, but not today.
It's not today.
Not today. I did say that it's going to be in a month from now. I just wanted everybody to be ready and just aware of it. But I think some people, maybe not BD, but I think some people thought it was going to be today.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a couple of comments like, oh man, I'm going to miss the live stream, have fun with Sally. It's like, not this stream. Soon though.
Clear your calendars.
Yeah, clear your calendars. Circle that date. That's going to be a big date coming up.
I'm gonna get a thing here.
Okay. All right. Jason, Scott, have a great show. We'll be catching up over breakfast. Smash that like button. Hit that like button, everybody. Let's get a nice like rush to start the live stream. We've got OK Marvin, Super Looper French Terry shirt soon. Super Looper French Terry shirt. I don't want to cut the sleeves off. I'm not sure what you mean that we do the Super Looper in a crew neck sweatshirt. Maybe that's going to be good enough for you. Devin Hurt, Wonder Looper towels. The towel market is very confusing.
I have been confused myself in the towel market, and only recently I have settled on a proper towel, and I'm not changing.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like towel-y materials, and I want to make clothing out of it.
What's the name of the brand again?
Royal Phoenix.
Okay, guys, I have to admit because I love them. These are great towels. We don't make towels. Maybe one day we'll make towels, but we don't make towels right now, and I don't see us making towels anytime soon. But these are the towels we use, and I am a big fan of them. Hold on, let's go over to that. Just a little brief shout out to the good people at Royal Phoenix. It's a Japanese company, and they make very, very plush towels. And one thing that's really cool about them is that you can get them in different hem colors, so you can match
they've
your...
been like discontinuing some colors.
Oh,
which,
really?
Like kind of annoys me. I think they renewed the fabric, which I'm not gonna, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I like the previous fabric Well, this is the current, the previous fabric actually.
I
There's
see.
like different ones. I think they were maybe in like the process of changing it. Anyways, so cabin towel, it is
That's the one.
that's the one to get. That's
All right.
the heaviest GSM,
Mm.
600 something, I think.
All right.
And you know, I've had towels that felt great in the beginning, but just like wash after wash, it gets, you know, not so great. I mean, that's how usually like anything goes. But this one is, you know, it's not like we have had this for years and years, but this towel so far is performing really well after washes, multiple washes. So.
All right. Well, there you go. It's Bahzad and Risa approved. Royal Phoenix. Check them out. If you like good towels, I would point you there. We're not getting in the towel game probably anytime soon.
Yeah, but towel-y, like
Towel-y
high
material? Yeah.
material clothing.
Yeah.
I'd like to get into it
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah. I also like bathrobe. Maybe a bathrobe. Anyhow, give us some time. But I know I like the thought processes here. Okay. Whoa, a lot of snowy fur everywhere.
Today.
Yeah.
That's because you worship.
Okay. If I missed your question, just ask again. CamX tuning in from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Happy Friday. Off topic. I'm getting married this Sunday.
Wow,
Congratulations. On this Sunday, May 25th. Still so much that needs to be done before the big day. Well, you know what?
Imagine.
All I can say is just don't stress. I'm sure you hired people to handle things, and let them handle things. It's
way easier said than done. I was extremely stressed before the wedding. It was just, you know, it's one of those things where it's like it's never, you know, you feel like this is once in your lifetime, and there's, even if you like let the you know planner handle it, there's so much to do still.
Okay.
Unless you're, you know, your partner's doing it all.
She handled it. Let them handle it. Okay. Jean-Francois says, hello from Montreal. Can't get enough of that ELS recycled softness. I've got a lot of emails this week about ELS recycled cotton slub t-shirts. When are they coming back? When can I get more? First thing, gray. I was about to point to my t-shirt, but I'm not wearing the gray today. I was wearing the gray. Gray is in stock. So you can get some grays right now. When are we getting more?
I don't know.
Okay, Risa does not know, but are we getting more sooner than later?
We are getting more in the future, yes. There's a production order in place. I don't know when they're being delivered.
Okay, but it's not going to be next spring. I'm just basically saying we're getting them a little bit earlier than we had originally anticipated. That was what I was building up to.
Okay, yes. It's sometime this year.
Okay, sometime this year. So, this year, fall, we'll have some more. Okay, JP is tuning in from the USA, from Virginia, and Solvin says, again, hit that like button. I like the way you're thinking here. John Akes, good morning to us. Good morning to you. And Minwa Maxim, hello from Paris. It's bedtime, but I'm wearing my Naked and Famous FoxFibre Ecru trucker jacket. Great jacket. I had that jacket.
You still do?
No, I think I gave it to Shizuka.
What?
The FoxFibre. Oh, FoxFibre Ecru. Never mind. I had the Indigo by FoxFibre.
Right.
Yeah, that one I had to give away. I was too small for me. I had to give it away. But a great jacket. I do have the Ecru one back there somewhere. Not the trucker jacket, but the zip chore coat. Stephen Kolbelkam, a bird pooped on my ELS Ecru today. A little annoyed.
That's annoying.
Yes. I have to say, there's nothing more annoying than when people say, oh, that's good luck. Have you ever heard that? people say, "Oh, a bird pooped on you. That's good luck." I'm like, no, it's not. I have to. You want to hear a great story? Everybody wants to hear a great story. That's why they tuned in. We were just having the most. We were in Paris for a trade show trip many years ago, and it was just one of those trips where everything was going wrong. You know, they didn't let us in the hotel early. Not even early. It was just like check-in was terrible. Just overall, the whole trip was just all these annoying things were happening to me, and I just couldn't wait to get the heck out of there. Even when we were trying to get into a cab, we ordered the cab, and they're like, "Oh no, you have too many luggages," and which we didn't. And then so me and Risa had to take separate cabs to the airport, and like so, I just didn't want to fight with anybody because it was impossible to get the cab. And then so Risa's pouring into her cab, and I'm just putting the luggage into the cab. And as that was happening, bird flies over, drops one right on my head. And I'm about to go into a cab, go to the airport, and sit on that thing for 6-7 hours, go back to, I think we're going to New York. That was the worst. It was just on top of everything else. Bird just takes a deuce on me, and I have to say, I didn't feel very lucky. So, anyhow, get that shirt cleaned, re-enjoy it, and don't let anyone tell you you're lucky. Doesn't feel that way.
What they're saying is, don't, it happened. There's nothing to be,
There's nothing to be happy about. When you tell me I'm lucky, I'm supposed to feel happy.
No, they're just trying to,
soften the blow?
Yes.
Okay.
Feel better.
I'll accept that. Okay. All right. If I skipped over you, again, let me know. KMX, nice camo shirt, Bahzad. How about a little fit check? Let's do the fit check.
Go ahead.
All right. So we've got camo shirt. It's not exactly a shirt. It's more like a jacket. I do not remember where I got it. I'm sure I bought it at a surplus store somewhere, but I don't remember if it was Montreal or Toronto or anywhere. No idea. It's just one of those things that appeared in my closet. FoxFibre Tsuriami t-shirt. So this is going to be back in stock today. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I've got a round G-Shock. This one's I think 30, it's right there, 35th anniversary edition, metal back. And I like the golden sort of dial, golden face there. Golden face. And I've got the Naked and Famous Dirty Fade True Guy, which I've been wearing for quite a while now. And yeah, I think they fitted quite beautifully with the custom Risa repair job on the knee. Risa, what do you got?
Got my Super Looper Sumi pullover hoodie covered in snowy hair, of course. I got the Ultimate Pima t-shirt underneath, and I found these pants in the closet. Appeared someday.
Yeah.
Used to be Bahzad's, I think. It's like a old Naked and Famous pants.
Yeah.
Leopard on the other side and camel on the inside.
Yeah, and it's like a herringbone pattern as well.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice fabric. It is a little too big. I know I wear like big pants usually, but it's a little too big. I don't know how I can make it work, but it's staying on my hip today. Yeah. So
the belt is doing the work today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's our little fit check for you guys. Okay. Epic Sky Legend with an epic question. What's your favorite tea and why is the Ultimate Pima tea?
Are you anticipating that our answer is Ultimate Pima tea? Why is it that
why
the best tea?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That I'm not sure what the question is exactly. What's your favorite tea and why is it the Ultimate Pima tea? Yeah, this is a tough question.
Okay.
You want to go?
I'm going to go because my favorite tea may be the Ultimate Pima tea. The the reason for that is because I wear it all the time. Like, I think I wear Ultimate Pima white t-shirts more than any other Wonder Looper t-shirts or like any other t-shirts in the world. Because it's just such a like easy basic. Like, you know, I tend to layer t-shirt, you know, under something, and for that it's such a good weight. It's just, you know, regular t-shirt. And it's very, very, very silky to the touch. It's a very nice fabric on your skin, and that's why I like it.
All right. For me, it's a tough question. It's just like, you know, which jeans are your favorite jeans? It's a tough question. When you're birthing these things, it's like, you know, you put a lot of effort into like every new one that you put out, and you're just like, well, and because you put so much effort into it, you're like, oh man, that's my new favorite. But it's like, for me, it's all very weather dependent. My favorite tee in a cold day, double heavyweight. I like that double heavyweight because here's one reason. I like it for many reasons, but here's one reason why I like the double heavyweight t-shirt is because when I wear it and I wear like a light short coat on top, it's enough. Like, for like a cool day, a brisk day, that's enough for me. I don't need much more than that. If I want to be a little bit more casual, relaxy, ELS recycled cotton slub. If I need the dressiness of a t-shirt, if I'm trying to be a little bit more presentable, Ultimate Pima works out well too. If I'm going a little more rugged look, I need the brown, I need the earth tones, I put on the FoxFibre. So it's hard for me to pick one. It's very dependent on weather and situation.
Yeah. I wear a lot of my FoxFibre tee, and I love them. And I think weight-wise, I actually probably prefer that over Ultimate Pima. I don't know. It depends. Maybe on a, you know, hot day, I prefer Ultimate Pima. But the reason for like where, you know, not being the favorite because it's not white. I think white tee has its special spot in like everybody's, you know, outfits, especially mine. And you know, if like brown is great, I love the color, but sometimes it just doesn't work, you know, in conjunction with other things.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of excited to have 2 new colorways being introduced in the fall in FoxFibre t-shirt land, Tsuriami t-shirt land, and you know, it's
grab them.
This you know, obviously the lighter color, the Fox 15. This one is going to work a lot with like my darker, you know, layering pieces, I think. And then this one.
This one's, I mean, this one's, I like all the colors,
nice.
But this one's very nice. Yeah.
Like, this one's great, but it's like a kind of a statement on its own. And this is the color of the cotton, which, you know, is fantastic to show off what FoxFibre is. But these other 2 colors that we're bringing in this fall is also, like, outfit-wise, it may be, like, a good, you know.
Yeah.
Option.
And I also say, like, just as a side note, it's also a really interesting way to introduce variety within the colored cotton, right? It's like, it's not just one color. Like, you can actually do things with it. So, you know, and that's the Fox 15 is a matter of, you know, blending it down. The iron Mordant is a matter of, you know, infusing that iron into the fiber itself, and like changing the actual pigment of that. Now, we can talk a lot more about that in a couple of weeks with Miss Sally Fox, who will be joining us on the live stream. That's going to be on June, I think I said 25th, something like that. 27th, June 27th. So we are going to the Osaka World's Fair.
No, it's not June 27th.
Is it? Which day is it?
It's June 20th.
June 20th?
Well...
Wait.
Yeah.
Sorry.
20th.
21st
for us.
But... Oh, 21st for us. So anyhow, I don't remember exactly offhand. Risa knows exactly offhand. So, it will be after the Osaka World's Fair. We're gonna go there. She has a speech that she's going to be doing. Then she's gonna be joining us here live. So, as much as I know about FoxFibre.
And the added bonus, it's not a bonus, but it's like the exciting part is that Sally's coming. We get to talk to her about the cotton and the
process, the history,
process. But also we're having another guest at the same time who is the yarn spinning mill person, and he knows more about like the more like
yarn production process.
Yes,
he's the master.
Yes, and how like this cotton, it's like growing it, making into yarns, and how like it gets like in circulation in terms of like big scale, like he's making it happen. So we can get like two perspective from different stages of the this whole thing. So.
Right. So from the earth to the production, we're gonna have all of that covered. So any kind of weird random questions you might have, maybe not too weird, we're going to be able to address some of them. So think about stuff you want to know about, because every time I sit down with either one of these two, I learn something new. And like, maybe some people think, oh, you guys know everything. We don't know everything. We're always learning something. There's always something new to learn in our world. It's just like, all of us are like really good at very like, the entire process is that long. And, anybody you meet along the process, like just the general process, like they know their area very, very well. And then they know a little bit about those other areas. But if you could put all those like masters together, all those blocks to come and talk about stuff, you're going to learn a lot more. So anyways, the more people we can interact with, the more people we can bring to you. I like having guests on the show. So that's coming up.
The expert guests are very interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously we talk about like, this is cotton all the time. So, it's a very exciting time for our live stream. That's probably like once, the video saves, that may be the
most
viewed live stream, perhaps.
Maybe. I hope so. I certainly hope so. I wanted to like let everyone know way in advance, just to make sure everybody knows about it, because I think this is going to be this is going to be a big one. I didn't want it to be like a special surprise, because people tune in, people don't tune in. Anyways, I want everyone to know about this one. This is
it's because big. It's live stream and we can answer questions live. So like if you know about it in advance, you can think of what to ask, and also you can just literally be there to ask. So
right. Okay, I see Alejandro Jomar, my friend, is in the chat. He says, I missed the steaks in Osaka. What? You don't miss the Italian food in Yokohama that we kept taking you to?
Saizeriya.
Oh, and Saizeriya. Fantastic. We took Alejandro to all the finest restaurants that Japan has to offer.
Including Saizeriya.
Including Saizeriya, which is, if you don't know what Saizeriya is, it will really make you question how are they... I have to say, like, dad mode is like, you go into a business or you go anywhere and you're like, how are they making money? Right? That's a dad move. Okay? That's what dads do.
It's an adult move.
Is it an adult move? I just think it's like a man thing to do. I'm just being,
I think that's very sexist.
That was, yeah. But what can I do? I'm a man. Yeah, and like you go into Saizeriya and you're like, why is this? How much is that? 350 yen for an entire meal, served to you at a table. It's bizarre. The prices are crazy, and
it's like you can literally it can be like you can order anything you want on the menu, however much you want to order. That'll be wasteful, but. And the bill comes out to be like
$12.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, it's a family restaurant.
Cheap.
Yeah,
I would say
it's questionably cheap, but I think it's a very like everybody in this country is just like every now and then you gotta go to Saizeriya because it's just like what for that I'm not gonna complain. How they make money in there, I don't know. I think all the money is actually in the drink bar, so you pay like $3 or something like that, and then you get unlimited fountain drinks. And the key is that the cups are pretty small. So like the chances of you going back 40 times to make your money on that.
Not gonna do that.
But even then, what are you making? Like $2 per person at this restaurant? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Jeremy Sim says, sounds like Golden Corral. I've never been to a Golden Corral.
Yeah, I think it's significantly cheaper than that, though.
Yeah. I've seen the commercials, but
yeah.
yeah, it's pretty nice. If you ever come to Japan, I have to say that it is a very, like, it's not on anybody's, like, oh, when you go to Japan, do this. Like, it's not on nobody's list of that.
Because the food is, like, good enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's good enough, but it's not like, oh my God, this is the best Italian food I've ever had, obviously.
It's not.
So it's like, you know, and the food, like, you know, like 300 yen pasta is like, okay, you know, if I made it at home, like maybe this is
what it would cost.
Yen. Yeah, it's that level. So like if you're a single person, you're kind of like, you know, it makes sense. Like I could just go there and spend as much as I would have spent to cook it, but I don't have to do the dishes. Somebody brings it. I'm not going to mess it up.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of the positioning of the restaurant, I think. But, like, especially when you're younger, like when I was in high school and stuff like that, it's just, like, the greatest place ever.
Right. Alejandro says, we need a Wonder Looper Caesarea collab. I promise you I will spend unhealthy amounts of hard-earned money on that. It'd be impossible to, because it would be so cheap. That would have to be the thing of that collab.
Yeah, it's like really the opposite, like a value proposition-wise, the opposite of Wonder Looper. So I don't know.
People will be like, what's going on here? Anyhow.
Well, if you eat at Caesarea, then you can, you know, spend more money on clothes.
There you go. That's how you justify it. Mm-hmm. Eat at Caesarea, buy the Wonder Looper sweatshirt. But yeah, if you come to Japan, check that out. But if you come to Japan, and if you're coming to Japan, I'm going to say Japan a lot, in a couple of months, we would like you to come and visit us in Yokohama, because that is what is happening soon. So next week, we've got the papers to sign, right? So that's happening. We've got our office space lined up. We're ready to sign. Everything's, you know, pretty much a go unless catastrophe strikes. Hopefully it doesn't, but
in the past we've been to this point before where we had the signing date scheduled. So I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just being careful. It's not confirmed as of now, but it's likely to happen.
Yes, it's likely to happen.
Likely to be confirmed. Yeah. Either way, next week you'll know if we got the place or not.
Yeah, you'll see it in the newsletter with a big old frowny face if we don't. And a
Please
little,
don't bring it up.
And a bit of panic. But I'm pretty confident with this one, and so that's hopefully with everything running smoothly between now and then. We need to do a small renovation, a little bit of work on the floor just to get it ready for us, and then we got the moving company. We're already starting to get everything packed up. Moving company's going to get our things, move it into the new office. It'll probably take from then, if the floor gets done fast enough, say by mid-June, from mid-June to like mid-July, it'll probably take us to like get everything like set up and like maybe ready for you guys to see it. It's possible that maybe even in August we'll be ready to have people come and visit and say hello. Risa does not like my timing on that.
Spacing out. I was thinking of the live stream situation, and what's going to happen is basically our plan is to have all of the samples there, all of the stuff there, all of the little props that we're gonna need for live stream over there once we move in. So we are, this is just my thoughts, or it's like, in the summertime, we would do the live stream at 8 a.m. Maybe we can push it to 9 a.m., which is like 8 p.m. Eastern. Just so that we can have, like, do the live stream there instead of here.
Yeah, that's not it's a good idea because we would have all the stuff there in the office. So if we want to show anything,
and the reason
we
why
gotta be
I
around
felt
it.
I thought that it might not be a bad idea, because I mean ultimately we can go there at 8 and start at the 7 p.m. Eastern, but ultimately like. The reason why I thought maybe moving it is even better is because last week we had like the live stream 1 hour later, basically because of technical difficulties. And we didn't see that much of a difference in participation.
Right. Yeah.
So if that is the case, maybe that makes more of a sense to all of us, and
maybe
we'll just throw in this idea into there.
Right. So maybe an 8 p.m. Eastern live stream starting at some point soon.
Yeah. I mean, we could start next week if we want to.
Let us know in the chat. Does that help you a little bit later? Maybe you're tuning in from the West Coast, and a little bit later helps you a little bit more. But if you're in Europa, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We need to hear from you guys. Mm-hmm. So that said, things are on the move with the studio, the office, the showroom, and we'll keep you posted as things progress. Alejandro is asking us to vlog everything. We'll try our best. I have to say that I as much as I like video, it's a lot more. It's pretty like. Here's the thing, and I think even when Alejandro was here, maybe he noticed it, because like Alejandro's got the camera, he's shooting everything, and like he's very comfortable in that realm. Or like sometimes like I'll bring a camera and I'm thinking, okay, like this is the week I'm gonna start like making more vlogs or whatever it is, and I'm just like, what am I recording? Like, is this even interesting? And I'm always playing these things in the back of my head, and like maybe later on when you review the video, maybe it's a little bit more interesting, but I just find it to be a little, like, I'm not the most comfortable in it. And as someone who's a terrible writer, I just find that, like, my strength, actually, especially because I'm writing a lot more these days, has just been, like, I'm a better writer than I am a video maker, but I really want to make videos better.
I think it's just, like, a matter of, like, making it a habit to record, like, a lot of things. And then, just like later on putting together. Like I find that like later on part is the part that like you don't maybe enjoy so much. Like just, cutting and piecing things together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just once you get into them, even with pictures, like I feel like once you get into the mood of taking photos, like you spend a lot of time doing that. Yeah. So maybe it's just the matter of starting it and getting used to it.
Jeremy says, just gotta do it. Yeah, maybe you're right.
It's like, obviously there's going to be a lot of cutting, and there's going to be also like a lot of like non-interesting parts, even after the cuts. But, sometimes like, it's like as a people who are watching it, I feel like, they can watch it at like two times speed if, things are slow and not interesting. So maybe. It's like, I feel like maybe we just start and then see what happens. All right. Kind of things.
Well, I just need the motivation. Just keep pushing me, and I'll get around to it. Nicholas says, an hour later would be nice. 8 a.m. on a Saturday is tough to wake up sometimes.
Yes.
We know. Yeah. We know. Nick's here in Japan. JP says, I should be coming to Japan around late July. If the earth isn't shaking, it might be when you get here, then I'll be there if it's opened by then. Well, we'll keep you posted. We're not going to have like a giant launch party or anything. To be fair, I don't know how many people would be in Japan to come and see it. But
the thing also is that like, we move at some point, and then, like I think it's going to be a slow build, because I think, a lot of things like, we're not planning everything. Like, we don't even know for sure if we have this space.
Stop.
You know what I mean?
We do.
But like, realistically speaking, it's like we just confirmed the space, and now like we're really like planning on the like how to lay it out and what we get and stuff like that. So the point is that we're going to be slow building. So it might be that you can come by. It's just not like maybe like a lot of
it won't be weird, finessed.
Yeah, like maybe like a lot of weird empty spaces or things like that.
We got racks and things to buy and all kinds of things to get.
I'm fully thinking that it's going to be like like a year until we're like, okay, we're settled, kind of thing.
Maybe. I mean, when you walk into like a retail store or maybe a lot of the places that you walk into, like for example, like Naked Famous New York, like it wasn't like a work in progress. It was like,
because it's a store.
Yeah,
we did the high. There's a designer.
Yeah.
And
then there was a build out, and there was a whole
once
thing.
Once it's done, it's open. Whereas like this office is not gonna be like that.
Yeah.
We won't have a designer. We won't have a clear vision. We're just gonna build.
Yeah, we're just gonna build up to it. And you know what? That is also the most economical way to do things. So we're just gonna go piece by piece, little by little, and we think it'll be a nice place. Okay. Manuel says green FoxFibre colors on Wonder Looper t-shirts in the future. The FoxFibre green.
If they become available.
Yeah.
Those are not being grown like enough right now. But
they're working on it for us. Yeah. That is, we've been asking. So it is something we want to do, and hopefully we'll have some for you in the future. Yeah. Okay, but I do want to talk about FoxFibre t-shirts because we're going to release a small batch of them.
Yeah.
There's a small...
Very, very small batch.
There's like 9 of them. But good sizes, small, medium, large, and XL. 1 small, 3 mediums, 3 larges, 2 XLs. I'm sure some of you tuned into the live stream for that reason, and we thank you very much. And behind me here, we have... behind Risa here, we got the flip clock order counter, and you can see we have 2 orders today so far. I just wanted to see when we release this, not that there's many, if it starts moving up real quick.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Hope so.
We'll see how. Yeah, or it's gonna be big fail. Who is ready for the release? I just want people to be ready and then we'll release it. So
I think I need at least a few more likes.
Yeah, so hit the like button, everybody. Let us know in the chat if you're ready. Go on to the website right now. Here's what you got to do. Let's just walk you through le process, and that is French for the process. So you go wonderlooper.com, click, you're on the home page here. Scroll through these little sliders, or just click on FoxFibre Tsuriami t-shirt. Now you're ready. It says sold out, but it's not going to say sold out for long because we're going to put that inventory up in just a minute. All right, we see people are ready. Everybody seems to be ready. We've got Orion Leah says, "What's up, homie? What's up? I got my FoxFibre shirt a few weeks ago, and man, I love this thing. It's so soft and interesting, and the brown color is so rich." Well, here's your chance to get another one. Risa, you want to do the honors?
Okay.
All right.
I feel like there's a little bit of delay in the live stream.
There's a little bit of a delay in the live stream. That is
if
true.
You're listening now, you might want to check it before I said it's done.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
All right, let's do it.
Risa's doing it. Minois says, in French, it would rather be le process. I'm going to screw that up. But it's le process. That's the proper way. That's the way I see it. Chris says, I love a live drop. And that's why we wanted to do a live drop with you guys.
Yeah, this is not a proper live drop, but we should bring that back in the fall time.
Okay, it's up, everybody. It's maybe hard to see on the website, but you can see the sizing is there. Okay, inventory is live. All right, and all right, I hear my phone buzzing, so I feel that there are some orders coming through. Yeah, hold on a second. Orders are coming through. Is that flip clock gonna start working? Hopefully, it starts churning.
I think we have.
All right, you see it, everybody? It's moving. Biggity bam. All right. 2 + 9 is 11. Sold out. That took a second. Hold on. Let's go back to the website. Okay. Once was there. Now it's gone again. All right. Well, that didn't take very long. That was a very exciting release now, everybody. Filthy Cyber Rat says, congrats to everyone that got one. Good game, everybody. Whoa, did I just get one? Slimy Dog says. Surgeon Sluggle says, and gone. Eugene Lee says, got one. All right, well, that's the way it goes sometimes. I also wanted to mention, if you want to purchase anything on the website right now, it definitely helps us out, because as we are moving, the less stuff on the shelves means the less stuff we gotta move. So it helps, and it might help you nowadays, because we still have a couple of these left. The Wonder Looper Craft Design Technology plastic fountain pens. These have been quite popular, I have to say. So if you place an order with us, you're gonna get one of these, and be a part of history.
This is a fantastic pen, and I like how everybody's kind of just giving us a reaction on it. Because sometimes we'll usually always have some kind of freebie, like whether that be a sticker or pins or whatever.
Yeah.
But this one, by far, gotten the best reaction.
Yeah. We are getting a lot of comments on this pen. Like, people, messaging me privately, being like, where can I get more of these pens?
Yeah. Which is actually a good thing, because these people do make these pens and the refills. Like, the ink can be refilled later on. So...
it's something you can enjoy for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. McKinley says, I am loving my fountain pen. Thank you for including the goodie. Chen Yipso says, I got one. John Ake says, it's pretty nice to write with.
It is very nice to write with.
Yeah. So I have to also say, if you are a pen spinner, if you can spin pens in your hand, this has got a great weight. I remember I spent all of 9th grade trying to figure this out. And I'm not the greatest at it, but it is a good weighted pen for this type of thing.
Like when a very good pen spinner just casually spins a pen in the meeting.
Yeah.
And just mesmerized always.
Yeah.
It's that's such a boss move.
I was in 9th grade and this kid was sitting across from me just spinning a pen. And he was just right across from me, just spinning this pen. And I'm just like, how did you do that? How do you do that? And I just spent the whole class just, what's happening here? And then I just remember figuring it out. It was great. Took a while. It definitely didn't happen in that one class.
I once, when I was in kindergarten, saw my cousin, an older cousin, do a tongue trick. With where you make tongue split into 3 ways. And then that I don't know how long it took, because I was kindergarten. I felt like it took a long time, but I practiced on the way to kindergarten every morning in the bus, and I mastered the skill.
Yeah.
And that's such a similar thing.
Yeah, it's like people who can loop their tongues. I could do it. I can also do the triple loop like you can, but we're not going to do it on this live stream.
I think that's gonna
be the after hours paid only version.
Nobody wants to see that, I think.
I think there are people
Kids like to see that. But
yeah, and weirdos, but
let's not worry about the weirdos.
We're not getting into that business. Leonardo Roca says, it's definitely my favorite pen now. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, the Raven says, Wonder Looper pen tutorial. I don't know how to teach people how to do this. It's a balance thing. I remember learning it like kind of like, when you learn how to wiggle a pen and it looks like, it's bendy. I just remember starting off like that, and then eventually you just sort of learn how to shift the weight around. But that's it. Great penning spinning pen. John Aches, I just flicked mine across the room. It happens. Sometimes you lose control of these things and they go flying. It's gonna take a while. You're gonna drop a few pens. Okay, well that was a very exciting release, as you can see. Salman says, "Hey, I had in the cart. I had it the FoxFibre T-shirt in the cart. Went to add embroidery, then it disappeared from my cart. It happens. Let me give you a pro tip on embroideries around release time. Embroideries around release time. Here's what you want to do. Okay, you go to wonderlooper.com, your favorite website. Maybe have it bookmarked as your home site. Just a suggestion. Hit embroidery service. Add this to the cart first, right? Have that in your cart. Text, I love you. Oh, too many letters. Is it? It is. Love me. Okay. Add that. Ooh, you hear that? We had another order. So you add that to your cart. So that's in your cart. I gotta pick a color. Red, of course. Add to cart. Of course. Love me. And now, when you want to add something, if it's a release, special release, something that's coming out, that day, it's already in your cart.
The point is that you don't have to do it after you add the product, because it's a completely separate item it registers as. So that's also a good point to know. And if you put two things in the cart and have only one embroidery, you want one embroidery on either of those items, you have to specify which item the embroidery is for. Otherwise you would get an email from me.
Yeah. So you just add that in the comments and then you check out. Yeah. But add the embroidery first. Not yet released their stock. So there is a chance that you'll have another availability very soon. And I think it's going to be sooner than later. I think their shipment got caught up in the customs, and sometimes that happens. And customs, customs, they love working fast. That's their favorite thing to do, is working as efficiently and as humanly possible to make sure that you have a great service. Great service interaction. That's what customs is known for. And shout outs to the good, hard-working people in customs. And so because of that, the Blue Owl release is...
Yeah, so Blue Owl does have the FoxFibre tees and also the Ultimate Pima tees in both colors. So that's...
coming soon. Hopefully. Brought to you by the good people at Customs.
And also, here's a secret thing.
Oh, okay.
The Ultimate Pima Tsuriami black tee that's been sold out for a while.
Oh, let's go there. Hold on a second.
The extra large, we added one unit to extra large.
Okay.
Just at the same time as FoxFibre. Nobody have noticed so far, it seems like. Nobody who wanted it had noticed it so far. So still one extra large.
There you go. That's been sold out for a while. So there's one in stock. Grab it while you can. Raphael says, man, customs suck. I hate them so much with a passion. And of course, what he really means is that he loves them so much, the good, hard-working people in customs who make all of our shipments go to their intended destination so smoothly and without, interruption.
Now sold out.
And it's gone. Watch this, guys. And it's gone. Somebody heard that, and I think the flip clock is going to activate in a second. So there you go. That's pretty cool. Solomon says, yeah, will do for next time. I thought it would remain reserved as long as it's in the cart for a few minutes. Yeah, unfortunately,
it's
not how it works. Yeah, I wish, in some ways, I wish it would do that. But, I also understand the problem of that. Is like somebody might just have something on their cart and then leave the website.
Yes.
And then it's stuck in limbo for a while. I don't know. But yeah. Sometimes you gotta act a little quick. And you'll get a chance again next time. Speaking of which, I got this bet. I'm not gonna. There we go. I got a great email, just one of my favorite emails. There's something that I get every now and then, and it's the angry that I can't buy something. Just the vehemently angry that I can't buy something email, and I get it. I get it. You want to buy something, and it sucks to miss out. I got it. But, being just sort of passively aggressive or angrily aggressive about not being able to buy something, here's a pro tip. Even if you hate our guts for the fact that you couldn't buy something, pro tip for you, be nice to the people you're sending the email to. Just be nice. Don't be like, well, good luck with your business, right? Thanks. We'll be fine without your order. Just we will, okay? But some people are like the expectation is like we got to be like the Gap and everything has to be available at all time, every minute of every day at your leisure. It's just I want everybody to be able to buy whatever they want when they want. I do. I really do. We don't underproduce things because we want to create this scarcity. Trust me. Yesterday we were talking about when we do a release, we get so crammed with orders that we sell sometimes we sell it completely in one day. Where it's we planned that inventory to last us for a while, and then you have a week of just we're in the we're packing, we're shipping, we're packing and shipping so much, and then you've got 4 weeks of well, I don't have really much to do right now. I really would like to smooth that out a little bit more, right?
It is things that we need to improve on inventory, but it is a little sad when people assume that we're just intentionally creating these sold out situation and doing nothing about it, and that's completely not the truth. And I think you can also kind of understand there are brands that are built on being
the hype brand, right?
Yes, and to be fair, I think that is a business decision. I don't really blame brands for that, because that every brand has to create their own space in the market. It's just that we're not one of them, and the proof of that is that we constantly, most of the things we make again, we make it available, season after season. So clearly we're not trying to make the brand based off of how rare things are and how impossible to get things are. And to be fair, it is not impossible to get. There are things that may sell out instantly. For instance, last drop, I feel the extra small of FoxFibre t-shirt sold out in minutes or whatever. It's because we sell the least amount of extra small, and maybe sometimes there's just a coincidence where all of the same size person are there wanting the same thing at the same time. With that said, even our very good performing products kind of have the perception of selling it instantly. It just takes hours.
Yeah. And you know, for whatever inventory we have for our website, our retail partners also have inventory.
Yes.
And like I know that we like as like far as like Wonder Looper goes, like a lot of people are, you know, tuning into us. But like, you know, we really try to shine a light like this, like when we send the email out for like the release, it's like these retailers also have it, right? So like we're really, and like every retailer all over the world, you know, we try to have a decent distribution. Everybody that carries our products carries a decent amount of them, and like yes, they sell out, but not everybody sells out like instantly. You know, and I would say like if you're around on like release day, if you're around on release day, chances are you're gonna get what you're looking for.
And the thing is also every single drop, like we have this like, you know, obviously like we want things to be exciting and we want the release time to be like, you know, big, but we also have this like fear that we don't, you know, things don't move so quickly. And because like, you know, obviously one of the limitations that we had, one of the biggest ones was the space, and we kind of are in the process of solving that problem.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
But we are solving it. And now like we can build up the inventory, we can carry more stuff, which we planned for fall. But still, like, when we go, like, that much in, like, we don't know how things are gonna go. We really don't.
Yeah.
So, it's like, you know, just because we have, like, you know, a back-in-stock notification numbers doesn't mean anything. Like, you know, sometimes people just sign out. I personally sometimes, you know, sign up, and then, you know, a couple weeks later, it's like, I don't want it. Right. Like, that's...
Yeah. You have to understand that, like, you know, for one, you're buying from a brand that started right here. Okay, this is our home.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a big place. And, you know, when we started, just like at a baseline, like when we just started, our inventory levels were really based on like our experience. And we've been in this business for a long time. You know, we've sold, we as like managers of retail stores, wholesale, you know, I know what people sell because we've sold to them, and I know what their buys are like. So we based all that around that. And, you know, we expected things to sell out over time, not over hours, you know, over months, not over days. And some things sold out immediately. Some things trickled down a little bit slowly. Like the double heavyweight sweatshirts, when those first came out, took a little while. It didn't sell out in a day. It didn't sell out in a week. But, you know, the majority of sales, and then it trickles down. That was sort of normal. But every time we started restocking things, that sort of trickle down kept shortening a little bit. And then we kept adding inventory. Then we got a new space, adding inventory. Now we're getting an even bigger space, 4 times the space, to try and make sure that inventory, you know, trickles down a little bit smoother. And so we're trying to work, you know, here and there. And, you know, it's kind of like with the shipping, you know, some people are like, oh, well, Amazon has free shipping. I'm like, okay, no problem. Here's what I'll do for you. When I'm the size of Amazon, I won't even have to be the size of Amazon. When I'm half the size of Amazon, you know, when I'm like a $500 billion business, I'll give free shipping maybe a consideration, right? But like, you know, it's just this, and then we can go into the whole discussion of like free shipping isn't free shipping. You're still paying for the shipping, but it's just hidden in there, okay? But the point is, it's just like, you know, people's expectations of, well, you're a brand on the internet, and so that brand has inventory, you don't have inventory, you're doing something wrong. And it's like, well, I get it, where you're like, and in some ways it's like flattering to be like compared to like some megacorp, but it's also like we're not a megacorp. So just understand who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with, and you know, we're trying our best to make sure everybody gets what they want. And I think everybody in this audience definitely knows that. You know, if you're new, maybe it takes a minute to figure it out. I've been exposed to new brands and I'm not really sure how they work. But like once you get it, you get it. And, you know, we're definitely trying here. And also, not only we're trying, it's also just like at our full complete risk. Like,
yeah,
it is our nest egg. Our future is all tied into this. If we buy a bunch of inventory that doesn't sell, you know what? I don't know if the grocery store or the bank is going to take that as payment for anything, right? So also understand that aspect of it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those
No, there's
things
no big
where it's
investment
like,
company here.
right.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where, like, you know, it's maybe before you, you know, express your frustration outwards, think about what's possible, what's the other side of this, you know, thing, and how that would, you know, how, like, I don't know. I just feel like some people are very quick to criticize, especially in emails, and
Yeah.
that's just not cool.
Right. We're just, you know what?
But I think it's also like important for us to kind of talk about these things because, you know, if you don't know what you don't know, so, you know, it's important for us to like kind of like share our perspective and our, like, you know, reasoning for things happening. That way, you know, maybe the, you know, that person probably are not watching this, but like, you know, it's just like put it out in the air, and maybe more people would understand it and spread the word.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Craig Castillo says, just wanted to say I've been watching you both for the past few months and finally grabbed my first t-shirt last month. Well, thank you very much. Now I've got over 4. Love the channel and love the product. Well, thank you,
Thank you
very much, Mr. Craig. And he says he missed out on tonight's drop, so I'll have to wait for the fall, but I'm all in with the Wonder Looper army. Next time I'm going to get the W and L chain stitched on the sleeve. The WL combo, the Wonder Looper classic chain stitch combo. Thank you very much. And we look forward to getting that to you. Salman with a good question. Are you opposed to taking pre-orders with full payment pre-production? I'm sure that would help with cash flow for you, and we get the clothes we are excited for. This is a good segue question. I'm gonna give Risa a minute to answer the door because I think we're both gonna chime in on that one. So I'll answer that one in a second. Nicholas says, do you guys finance your inventory or pay 100% out of pocket up front? We pay for our inventory up front. Yeah, it's all our. There's no bank. There's no like the mail might give us 30 days to pay or something like that. But it's like, you know, they send us the bill and we pay for it. So it's all.
Well.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, we talked about like.
What do we got here?
I don't know. I'm just gonna check. If
Okay.
it's something worth showing, we might show it off.
Okay. Wait, there's a mystery box.
Yeah.
There is a mystery box.
But yeah. So I think we talked about maybe in the emails that, like, you know, we have like the fall thing to pay for, and the reason for that, because we still don't have any fall products. The reason for that is that, like, you know, like when we work with multiple processes, like multiple separate businesses that have, you know, that are in the pipeline, you know, some of like the fabrics are being made currently.
Yeah.
Not the products, because the fabrics have to be made first, and then the sewing starts. Yeah. But, you know, everybody needs to get paid within a certain amount of time because they're not doing this for charity. So that's why some of the payments come early and other payments come later. Yeah. But either way, it's, you know, we like the last people to be paid obviously is us. Yeah. So, you know, it's just like the time it takes, especially with this, you know, like a big production of different things, it's a long term. Yeah. And that's kind of why, like, you know, sometimes it is hard when a big move and a big bill comes at the same time. All come
at the same time. And just to elaborate a little bit more on Solomon's question about taking pre-orders.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
So this is, you know, we've always sort of been hesitant to do pre-orders. You know, it's like the idea comes up. The idea is like, yeah, I like delivering finished goods. And I like delivering finished goods because I know what I got. And when we present it to you, you get what you get. And it's right there, then and there. And so, anything interesting there? Oh, yes. It's very interesting. Okay, wait.
Yeah, I'm not going to get in there. It is interesting, though.
Okay, so finished goods. And so right now, for example, we just did a pre-order for the baby cashmere Tsuriami sweatshirt. And by the way, if you ordered one of those, I sent everybody an email. And if you didn't get the email, if you haven't seen the email from me, check your inbox, check your spam. I sent you a very, very important email about that. And just to put it out there was a problem with the production. And so I let everybody know what happened and that we have a solution. We're trying to work through it. But you see, if we didn't do a pre-order on this and we were to just make the goods, if a problem were to come up in the production, process, we can adjust to it. And then by the time the product is finished, when I present it to you as a customer, I can say, here's what you're getting, right? But if I take your money in advance and present a product to you, take your money in advance, and then there's a problem, that's a way bigger problem because I've already taken your money, right? And so now we have to go through this, okay, whatever the solution process is. Like last week we talked about the indigo blanket striped French terry and how there was a problem with that. There was a yarn just discontinued. Can you make it anymore? Nope. Can you get it anymore? Nope. Here's some other options for you. You can use different colors. You could change the pattern completely, yada, yada. Anyways, we figured that with the amount of yarn that we could get, we actually, if we changed the pattern slightly, we could make our production. Otherwise, we would have had to drop a significant amount of the production. So when we do pre-orders, I'm more hesitant to do those because things happen in the production process, and if they happen while I have your money and I have your order, I feel like, if it's mega late or if something has to change, that's a tough position to be in, and I would much rather have finished goods and then present them as inventory.
Another thing to talk about is that, the timeline, right? Some brands can do a true pre-order, meaning that there's no limit to how much they can sell. They'll make every single piece that they the people pre-ordered for in a shorter amount of time. And reason for that is that if the fabric is available, if you're using running fabrics that are that some mill is stocking, have it as inventory all the time, then it's so much easier to do that because you only have to account for the time that it takes to sew the products, right? So if that's the case, or even some brands do just the prints or whatever, so that's even easier. But even if you're making sewing to order, if you have the fabric already made, how that it's gonna be the thing, and you can book the space for the sewing factory, and you can probably deliver goods in in a couple months. But in our case, our fabrics are very, very it's only made for order. It's not it's ready to go. If you want it, you have to order the fabric to be made, and then the cutting and sewing to be done afterwards. So our lead time is very, very long. And with just like Bahzad said, the things can happen, especially if you're developing your own fabric.
Being very specific about the details,
right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we also even have to order the yarns, so the yarns are even readily available. So because of that, there's so many points of failure, and also the much longer lead time. And I know in this audience, people might be oh, it's fine, we can wait 6 months, 7 months. But usually when you do pre-orders, it's that's really not the case. Most people expect something to show up and before you forget, basically.
Right.
So it's just it's for our business, it's very not ideal way to handle it. And I know from consumers' perspective, it's oh, if I pre-order, I don't have to worry about not getting it, and I can get everything I want, and I can plan ahead, blah blah blah. I hear you, but
Yeah.
in like realistic logistic ways, it doesn't make so much sense.
Yeah. I like, you know, how can I say it? Like, I think people are what they want to do, especially for like things that we consistently make that sell out. People want to be like, oh, how can I secure my item? And I understand that, and you know, I think for us, the best way to handle that is to just make more.
Yeah.
Right. That's the best. Like, I think you guys would appreciate that way more as well, because if we just have it, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to pre-order it, and we want to get to the point where we can really do that. And certainly, this move into the much bigger space is going to help us do that. And that's how I would like to handle that down the line. Now, there's certain things, like if we have to do like natural dye stuff, you know, like the indigo dye tees. But even with that, we have the finished T-shirts on hand, right? So we know how many T-shirts that we can do, and what we're really just pre-ordering for is how many dyes that we're gonna do, right? Like even with the indigo dye tees, like what kind of levels? Maybe if we do some other natural dyes, you know, whatever it is, you know, we'll have like 200 T-shirts, 300 T-shirts in stock ready for dyeing, and then you're just ordering based on the dyes. So that when we send the T-shirts to the dye house, they know we have to do 75 of these and 80 of those, and yada yada. So that's how I will prefer to handle pre-orders down the line. It's basically like you're pre-ordering for a service on a finished good, and then, you know, special projects maybe down the road might be something that we pre-develop, have stock of. Maybe not everybody's going to be able to get their size or whatever that way, but anyhow, if you ordered a baby cashmere sweatshirt, little hiccup in the production, and check your email if you ordered one and you have got a lot of responses already, but check your email, and anyway, we'll talk about that more once we got it all sorted out. But there's a little hiccup, and it's pre-orders, man.
Yeah. So I mean, in short, it's possible, and we have tried it, and we probably will do some more, but in general, like our vast majority of our products are going to be not pre-order based. The only pre-order is the wholesale customers.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, the wholesale customers. That's a little different, because even with the wholesale, like I think on a wholesale level, like if I say to a customer, "Oh, this pattern change," like they don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like their level of like acceptance is a little bit different than like I feel like an end consumer.
Of course, because they don't, like, they're also like, you know, in the business of like basically putting out money without the confirmation of you know, the sales, and you know, they have to believe, and so this is more of a partnership in a way that like, you know, they trust us to, like, you know, make the products is good, but they're also used to like brands facing these kind of issues in production.
Yeah, they're used to that.
So with that said, the fall we have, you know, ramped up the production, and I think going forward, because we have a little extra room in the warehouse, we can, you know, I think, you know, like room, also knowing how, like, which item sells like really well and all that kind of stuff. Just we have been improving our planning, and you know, it's like I feel like this is the longest we've had double heavyweight T-shirts in stock in this like size range. So I think we are getting better already.
Yeah. So things are trickling, you know.
Yeah.
A little, with those products, they're trickling a little bit more like evenly. Yeah. Mind you, it is spring summertime. It's a double heavyweight T-shirt. Maybe in the fall it'll be a little different. Anyhow.
It is still a T-shirt.
It is still a T-shirt. Yeah. But like if we had more ELS tees.
But the thing is, again, the ELS tee is still here, which is
gray. Yeah.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still here, so that means that we.
Yeah. We sell a couple every day, and is how we expected. You know, that's how we like to work. So, you know, we were busy in the warehouse enough, not like, man, after a release, it's like literally like morning till night, just packing. It's then
there's the waves of embroideries, which I you know do at night mostly.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about the packing. Also,
Oh,
And I know
it's
you're not
fine,
complaining
like,
about the change the
no.
gene either. I like packing orders. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really enjoy.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, like, our lead time for processing order time also gets longer
Yeah,
and
yeah.
longer because we're not like getting any faster. Honestly, we're just we're
We
there's
can work
only
on it.
so much.
Yeah, there's only so much we
be
can
faster.
put in and pack.
Yeah.
You know,
Without
yeah.
making mistakes.
Right. Like on a regular day, sometimes like we'll be in the maybe it's happened to you, but like sometimes we'll be in the warehouse and as we're picking and packing, like an order comes through and like we process that order in a minute. It's like order comes through and like we have the shipping label on it within like 2 minutes. And I'm like, man, they must think we're working at some kind of like mega speed warehouse or something like that. But sometimes you just get us at good timing. But I do like to process orders fast. But yeah, like when you get like 300 orders in a day, I cannot process them all tomorrow. It's just, which is what I like to do. Anyhow, what's in the box?
Yes.
You know what? Before we get into what's in the box, do you want to know what's in the box? I want to know if you want to know what's in the box, because we just got a box. It's a very special box, a very nice box, and we're going to know if you want to know what's in the box. If you hit what?
The like button.
The like button. Hit the like button, everybody. Let us know that you like to see what's in the box, and then we'll get to what's in the box. In just a... Not like that. It's much nicer. And if you haven't subscribed already...
You hate this joke.
I hate that joke.
It's not a joke. Well, it's a joke, but...
It is. Yeah, that movie, man.
It's a pretty.
It's a heavy movie.
Heavy movie, yes.
Okay, we have. Everyone's ready for the box. Risa, what do we get?
So we got the first beaker, lab dips of the Super Looper fabric.
Super Looper for spring, summer
next year.
Yeah.
Next spring. So probably maybe like 10 months from now, this will become a product.
Yeah,
right?
maybe less.
9, 10
I hope less.
Yeah. So we talked about the new colors.
Last week wait. Let me bring them up because I have them lined up here. So last week, now the colors that we showed weren't exactly perfect, but this is sort of the range of colors that we were.
From the right to left, we are continuing with heather gray, sumi black, which is what I'm wearing today, burgundy, which in this photo it looks a little different, but it's the same burgundy as we did last season. And then 4 new colors. The lab dips came in. Let's start with navy blue.
Okay, so we got navy. This is the classic blue steel navy sweatshirt.
I think I like this navy. I think this color came out perfectly.
Here, I've got a Super Looper short here. We can just reference it with RIP the shorts.
But I think it's more importantly we can compare with the other navy, which is the double heavyweight navy. Yeah. This is an old sample, so the neckline is a little different, but this is a double heavyweight navy, which is very, very dark, and more like a little bit more like greenish toned. Whereas this one, it's a little bit more red in it, more classic navy, I would say. It's got little
fluffs on it.
But so this is a very nice navy. I think it is a good, like, obviously I love this navy, but this navy is gonna look great as more athletic look. With Super Looper, we go with like more of a sporty look with the contrast zipper tapes and stuff like that. So this is a great navy. I love it. I think we should go as is.
Yes.
For this one.
Oh yeah.
What's the color next to that?
The color that I had up. Hold on. So we had green. So
green. Okay. So this is the green.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe we need to make it a little darker.
I think it might need to be a little darker. Yeah. So that's how it works sometimes with these things. You get the these are called lab dips. So they basically just send you a sample of the coloring, and then we have to approve it from there. So I think this might be a little bit bright.
Yeah. It is definitely darker than like our first season Super Looper green.
Yeah.
But I think ideally we should have it slightly darker than this.
A little toned down.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work on that one, but see, this is how the process works. And then we've got orange, and I think this came out good.
Okay.
This, I think, because it has that sort of muted tone on top that I really like. It's got brightness, but it's not like saturation isn't like super peak high.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like this orange too. It's we had a good like vintage sample sweatshirt, and it's based off of that. It came out perfectly. So I think we should go as is on that.
That's a winner.
And it looks great next to this new navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right, the purple.
Yeah. It's like a dull Home Depot orange. Yeah. The dull part is what I want. I want like saturation down.
Yeah, it pops, but it's not like
burning your retinas.
Exactly.
Yeah. Solid orange. So yeah.
Okay. I think when I put it a little back, it's more of a real color.
Okay.
But so this is the
purple.
The purple.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I like it.
Okay.
I think it's really nice. I would maybe turn again the vibrancy, the saturation down just a touch.
A little more mute.
It has to have this sort of tone, whatever, like this muted tone that is on top of this orange. It needs to be more like that. Yeah.
So this is like there's always two versions that they come up, and I executive decisioned all of the colors with the better version, but this one, the top one is a little bit more vibrant, and then the bottom one, which I thought it was better, is this one's slightly more muted.
Yeah.
It's very slight.
Yeah.
But it still needs a little bit more of a...
Just to turn it down a little bit. Yeah, but that's the ballpark. I think that's right. It matches the orange nicely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Solomon says, orange not so much. Preferred the yellow from last release. Wasn't able to get it in time though, so was hoping you would re-release. Marigold, maybe one day. Yeah. But, we're with Super Looper, we definitely want to change the colors up a little bit because we want to... There's so many colors in this world that we want to explore the sporty sportswear world. Mm-hmm. And, every season we'll change it up. We'll bring some back. We'll retire some. Yeah. Hey, we're going to get a big warehouse. Maybe one day we're just going to have a rainbow of these. So this season, we got some fun colors. Some new fun colors. The Funtastic series. Let's see if anybody knows what that reference is from. McKinley says, never did I think I would wear orange or purple, but I love those swatches. They're very easy to wear. Wearing these with jeans, wearing them like underneath a jean jacket, a short coat or something like that, it's very simple to wear, and they're very fun to wear as well. I like going with the navies, the grays, the blacks, very classic. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, those are always our best sellers. They're always our best sellers. But I think you have those in the closet. I think it was the same thing with the baby cashmere. A lot of people are like, man, I got like 4 gray hoodies in the closet already. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I know we're starting with gray because gray is number one, right? And everybody, even though I always hear, I have a lot of gray hoodies, it's just people are attracted to gray hoodies. Maybe they're replacing their gray hoodies. They haven't got a good gray hoodie yet, so they want to get at least one classic one in the closet. So we started with that. And even with the Super Looper colors, gray's going to be popular, black's going to be popular, navy's going to be popular. These 3 colors are going to be, in terms of total volume, are going to be less popular. But there's always the people who are looking for the special items. That's what people are attracted to here. So we got to keep the colors exciting for those people. And I think, when people think, oh man, I would never, in the past, maybe I never wear purple, I never wear orange. And then you present it with the option or something really nice. You know what? Now I can see it. You know what? But that's usually after you've got your bases covered. Then you want to, spice it up a little bit. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Jeremy Sim says, looking like a Pokemon collection.
Is it?
That's a good idea.
What do you mean?
Like red, blue, yellow.
Oh.
Gold, silver. Anyhow, That's
Gold, silver.
I don't know if I would do shiny gold, but like marigold and some kind of silver is gray already. Anyhow, I know what you're doing and I like it. Okay.
Yeah, just leave us a comment on the colors. I would like to know what people are thinking.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Yeah. Brandon Edwards, was pink taken out of the lineup? Yes. Sorry about that.
I think we replaced pink with a burgundy because burgundy was. It came out so nice, first of all, but also like it was the hot color of the season. Like I think there was way more people who wanted it that couldn't get the burgundy, and it's just something that we needed to bring back. It felt like, and then also we can possibly do 8 colors in Super Looper. That's just ridiculous. 7 is already ridiculous. I was not very happy with the number of colors we're moving forward with, but what can we do?
Yeah. So this is my it's just fluffy and covered in cat hair, but this is the burgundy. So this is coming back. This was the number 1 color, at least the one that people really wanted to come back, and so we're bringing this one back. Yeah.
And I think it's good because we made sure that it can like sit next to a purple and be different enough.
Yeah.
It can. I think this is such a classic. Like I can never say this word correctly, but collegiate.
Yeah. This was like my high school colors.
Right.
And,
it's just a classic. So it's I think like black and gray. Sure, very, very staple. But I think this can be a staple. Yeah. Honestly, I think the navy would have to be a staple too.
Yeah.
So now we have like 4 carrying over colors.
They're all based in like collegiate sporty color realm. Like that's what Super Looper is about. It's a little bit more sporty. Mm-hmm. So
I feel like this is like what do you call it? Like it's just like a survival of the fittest kind of thing. So it's like every season like one color survives. So like gray is from the first season, and second season we got the black, and then
burgundy.
Well, I guess that's season 2, but and then from this upcoming season, I feel like Navy's gonna survive.
Yeah,
and
we'll see it around. There's always been Anyhow, we'll see how it goes. I do. My dream, just maybe we'll have a dozen colors one day. We got to be a bigger company to do that, but we'll have a nice rack of like a rainbow, just a full rainbow of all the best colors, someday. Jan says, would you ever do the orange and a cruise side paneling? I forgot the name of the style. Well, there is if you want to do like contrasted sweatshirts, but I think what you might be thinking of is like an after hood, and like vintage after hoods sometimes would have contrasted like rib panels or hoods or like kangaroo pockets. And to that I have to say, everybody knows, not everybody, but anyhow.
Stay tuned. Everybody knows you can't keep a secret.
Everyone, You
already know what's coming.
Sounds like you already know the answer. What was that? That was from The Office? No.
Yes. Yes.
No. Sounds like you already know the answer to that question. Yeah. So just give us time. The Moore says, good to see you, my friend. Agreed that the purple needs to be toned down a notch or 2. Yes. And thanks. The burgundy sold like hotcakes. Maybe I'll be able to get my size this time around. I think you will. But yeah, so these are our lab dips, and I'm glad we get to do these in front of you guys to show you what the process is like. But yeah, you plan for a color, they send you their interpretation of that, and you go from there. That's basically it. One thing that we have to invest in, and right now it's sort of been like, we have like the way we've been working with a lot of colors is, we might have a vintage garment or, some kind of swatch of a fabric somewhere, and we present it to our mill, and like they'll basically go and try to recreate it the best they can. But at some point we need to invest in like a Pantone set. So for those people who don't know Pantone, I'm sure maybe you've heard the term before, but Pantone is like these little color codes, and they're like the authority on color, in every material possible. So like there's Pantones for like paint, there's Pantones for paper, there's Pantones for plastic, there's Pantones for fabric. So they have like these books with literally every color imaginable, with like little like chips of fabric, and like these are all the colors. And so what you can do is that with the fabric set is, if you have a color that you want to reference, you go through the book, you look for the color that you're looking for. It'll have the color code, and then it'll have a little like piece that you can like tear out, and then you can present that to the the company that's doing the color for you, and they can reference that Pantone number, and they'll have an actual physical representation of that color for them to compare against. So
the problem though is that it's always gonna look different. Like when we have our say we have t-shirts made in one color, and we love that color, and we want it in a hoodie, completely different fabric, it would look completely different color-wise too. So it is
even in the same tone, because the texture of the fabric also affects the way things look.
And how like the the yarn size that's kind of making up the fabric has a lot more impact on color, like how we see color, how it would look as a garment, even like very different. So it is a difficult thing to maneuver.
It's interesting because like earlier in the stream we talked about Sally is the expert in the cotton, and then we have the person from the mill who's also going to be coming on that live stream, the expert on like the yarn production process, like the top to finish, like we're gonna have, and like everybody's like an expert in their own little like niche. Everyone understands a little bit about some other person's role in the whole production process. And I have a friend who was just a colorist for a large apparel company, and it was like their job was just to make sure that the color of like this sweatshirt from this factory in this country was exactly the same as the t-shirt from this factory in another country. And like that is just, and like the amount of SKUs they had to work with, like thousands, because like it was just a big company. And it's amazing that like one person, I'm sure they had a team, is responsible just for the color. I'm sure they have someone on their team who's just like, I'm the buttons and zippers guy. That's it. I just deal with buttons and zippers all day. And I make sure that we have all the right buttons and zippers for every million products that we make. So things can get like that niche in like these worlds. It's pretty interesting how deep this goes. Joy Rock says, I got color swatches, not Pantone, but another brand, to work with my color theory paintings, and color is an illusion. Yes. It
is a very, it's not like numbers. Like, yes, you can datify a color, but depending on
light,
what you're looking at, like even between like individual eyes, it's very different.
We all see color differently. That's for sure. I mean, our brother-in-law is colorblind. He,
which sometimes I forget because it's sometimes it's hard to see what you're not seeing. And well, how to understand what you're not seeing, and it's sometimes like he randomly asks, "What color is this?" And it's like, like it's something that is obvious to me, which even I'm not sure if it's the same color as what you're looking at. But like, it's just it's a weird illusion. Because he has no problem seeing things.
Good vision, but the color is a little off. And then for example, like when I have to edit photos or videos, I like working during the day. To be fair, I never stop working. I work all day, all night. And like I might be working on a batch of photos or a video in the morning, and like I try to get the room as dark as I can, so that like, you know, everything is good. And then like, so I work on that all day and I'm looking at it, and then at night I might reopen that file, I'm looking at something and I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
But to me,
and I'm just like, it's just like, it's just the difference in contrast from like the day to night, and it drives me nuts sometimes when I'm playing with color. I'm not a colorist.
Yeah, but like sometimes when I like edit the product photos, within like, you know, even like
an hour,
20
of, like,
minutes, like I think it's just like my eyes get used to like looking at certain things. Like you start off with some like a photo that's maybe a little too dark, and then you like bump up the exposure, and it's like it looks like it's bright now, and it's like, okay, this is the color.
Yeah.
And then like you like leave to do, you know, like another picture, and then come back to it, it's like, oh, it's so dark still. You know what I mean? Like it's just like your eyes get like accustomed to certain things when you're like, you know, looking at it for so long, and then you know, as soon as you like have a fresh eye on something, that's completely different. Yeah. So I don't know. This color business is
difficult, and I just think back to my time editing videos and things. I constantly have to tell myself there's no such thing as perfect,
right?
Because I could be there just tweaking ever so slightly. I'm like, oh, I have the fabric in my hand. I'm like, okay, does it look exactly perfect, right? I'm like, you know what? It for me, like, I'm always aiming for perfection. I know it doesn't exist. My compulsion is to just keep working on it until you get it right. But then at just some point, I'm just like, good has to be good enough.
But also, like, sometimes the more you work on it, the worse it gets.
You know
what I mean?
Right.
Because it's just like you're thinking too much, and you probably should just go with instinct. But, you know, like with photos, like, I think everybody is by now aware that what you're looking at on a screen is quite possibly very different from what you're gonna see in real life. And I think that's the kind of the hardest part of like selling color as a as a product. It's
is this the perfect shade of purple?
It's like,
ooh, that's a deep philosophical question. Lemore says perfectionism is paralyzing. It is. It is. It's a trap. Joy Rock says, my professor in color theory made us paint color illustrations, and honestly, it's honestly magic, but such an art. Yeah.
I would like to know more about it. I bought like a book on like, because I wanted to know color as in like not just feelings and how it looks to me, but like also just as a theory. But it is so like that is more confusing than anything.
Here's something I never knew about. Fernando says there was an article about the color Olo, and only a select few people can see this color after they had an eye procedure done.
All right.
You had an eye procedure done?
I had it LASIK. Maybe I can see it.
Maybe you can see it.
Or
maybe it's a very specific.
Or maybe you have to have like a what's that eye disease?
Cataract?
Maybe that surgery. Is it cataract?
I don't know. Yeah. You know, just off topic. Good off topic. Risa had her laser eye surgery. Maybe I told this story before. It was done in Montreal. And I just remember, like, I went there with her to the clinic, and I'm sitting in the waiting room. They take her in. And, like, they take her a few minutes later, like, one of the nurses comes out. She's like, oh, do you want to see the procedure?
Yeah, before that, when I got in there and then, like, about to start the procedure, they asked me if I thought that, you know, I guess boyfriend at the time, I guess, we were married with, like, oh, like the person you came with, do you think he would want to see it? And I said yes, because I would see it because it's so cool, and I can't see it if it's being done.
So they're like, I'm like, she comes up to me and she's like, do you want to see it? And I'm like, no, just like, no. I don't. Of course not. What are you talking about?
Really surprised. That was like, you know, obviously we've been like dating for a while by then, but like that was one thing I learned from that experience, that you do not want to see any kind of.
I don't want to see you hurt or anything like that. It's just.
But it's not hurting.
Anyhow, So I'm like, no. And she's like, no, come on. It's going to be fun. And I'm like, okay. So I follow her. And then she brings me to, like, you know, the area. And, like, I'm outside the room. But inside the room, there's a window. You can see in the window. And then they have, like, this monitor with, like, a camera that's zoomed in on Risa's eyeball. And, like, her eyeballs are, like, clamped open, like, you know, anyhow, it looked gross. And then they just start shooting her eye with lasers. And I'm like...
I would have loved to see
And I'm like, oh, God. And I'm just like, why did you... And I went away because I couldn't look at it. And I'm like, why would you bring me here? And then I learned that it was on, not your request, but like they asked you. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that at all. It's awful. It was awful.
You had to see like a couple of the medical procedures.
Yeah.
Of mine, I would have killed.
I'm good. I'm a waiting room guy. Just I'll be out there. You need me? Just let me know. Okay. Well, that was fun.
We got an order.
We got another order. See, anytime you place an order, that flip clock is gonna activate.
14 is
14. Okay, so we need.
cute.
If we want to fill it up, we need to get how many more orders? That many more orders. So
It can
1, 2,
accommodate how many
3,
digits?
4, 5, 6, 7.
Seven
So a
digits?
million. We can accommodate up to 9,900,999 orders. So place your orders now, folks. We've got an order counter to fill, and that resets every 24 hours.
Okay.
So
We're good for now. We're good for a while.
unless there's
With
some
that-
crazy
with that.
surge. Okay. Guys, it's coming down to that time of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Do we
that.
have something?
Yes, we do. It's in the fridge.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we, you know, I not for this episode, but I gotta find it. And I saw it online, and oh, I have to shout. This is the YouTube channel I like. The LA Beast. This guy, he's an obviously a fellow nostalgia lover. You know, I think we're in the same age range. And like he eats all kinds of like old, definitely expired, not definitely. I mean, that's the name of the channel, basically. Like foods from our youth and our childhood. And recently he had like 100-year-old sealed bottle of Coke that he drank. I thought it was amazing. He did it for science. But
Did it for YouTube.
yeah. That said, one episode he did the most sour candies. Like,
Oh, we gotta do that.
and I gotta buy it. And like they're apparently they're crazy. And yeah, they're kind of pricey, but it's okay. I gotta get it, and we gotta try it for one of these. Chris says, I love the LA Beast. Yeah, I love the LA Beast. He's amazing. I also have been watching him for years. Also just last week, I don't know if you're watching right now, but I noticed later that Kasim G left a comment. He was asking us about at the end. He was asking about our favorite Studio Ghibli movie, and I'm like, I recognize that name. And then when I went to look back, I'm like, oh, it's that Kasim G. Very. I used to watch a lot of. I don't think he made too many videos recently, but very, very funny guy. He had a lot of subscribers. Well, still, but he used to go around the Comic Cons, with funny interviews and things like that. Great guy. If you're watching, been watching your videos for a long time. Maybe not so much recently, but still, fan. There you go.
It's great.
Okay.
All right.
What do we got today?
So it's another drink this week, and we're going with Kiwaminto.
Kiwaminto.
Extremely minty, it seems like. Kiwaminto milk tea. So it's the milk tea by Lipton with very minty flavor.
So chocolate, no, not just, so this isn't chocolate mint. In Japan, the summer is marked by chocolate mint flavored everything. That is like the cooling, refreshing
Mint
flavor.
in general.
Yeah.
But so like mint chocolate flavored ice creams and or mint chocolate ice creams and mint chocolate flavored drinks, and like a lot of that comes out during summer. And if you've been following my personal Instagram, you know that I've been obsessed with Frisk sparkling drink since last summer when they made a debut.
It's the mintiest drink of all time.
It is a very minty, and it's this year they came up with a grape Frisk mint sparkling drink, which is fantastic, by the way. But I like minty things, and this is a mint milk tea, so it's a little bit different from mint chocolate drinks that you can get. So we'll try.
Right. Yeah. So it's just mint, and though there's an ice cream on it, there's no chocolate chips in there. I don't know what to expect. Milk
but also,
tea.
I like that it's like extreme mint, so it's not like mint, chocolate flavored thing. It's like it's gonna be minty, I would imagine, because they use.
All right, and this is definitely a seasonal flavor. This is not gonna be on the shelves forever.
I also think that in North America, people associate chocolate mint with Christmas. Sometimes.
I feel like minty flavors are more Christmassy. Right, so when I got here and like everything's chocolate mint, and I'm like, this is like Christmas. I love chocolate mint. I think it's a great combination, but I never thought of it as like a summer refreshing flavor. I always thought it was more of a Christmas flavor. Anyhow, this is what it looks like.
Oh, I smell the mint.
Milk tea. I smell the mint. I mean, because
Chocolate
of the mint, I feel like it's chocolate, but it doesn't advertise chocolate.
No, it's milk tea. All right.
Okay,
Let's try
we'll
it.
give it a shot.
It's definitely chocolate mint.
But it's like
The taste
The
is
taste is-
chocolate mint. No?
my mouth is just covered in mint flavor. Like it's around. Like it's cold. My mouth is cold. It's cool. It's refreshing. It feels a little bit like menthol.
But it's not as minty as the Frisk drinks.
Yeah, and there's definitely chocolate in there,
Right?
which
I
they're not
think
advertising. But like, it would make sense if it was a choco mint flavor. But
I do get the slight like taste of tea, like black tea, Lipton tea,
yeah,
but not very strong.
yeah, the tea flavor isn't as strong as the mint flavor, and it's like milky mint, which is not a flavor that you're probably so used to outside of a ice cream, right? It's not bad.
It's good. It's good. Because I like choco mint as well. And this is, like, if somebody tells me that this is a choco mint drink, I would not even doubt.
Right. Is it very sugary? I don't feel it like it is.
Yes, it's very sugary.
Oh.
So 100 milliliter, 30 calories.
Okay.
100 per 30. Coca-Cola is 44 calories per 100 milliliter.
Okay. So this
it's
is
pretty
more
up there.
sugary than Coke.
No. It's less sugary.
Oh, sorry.
So
That's
this is 30
Okay.
per 100.
Uh-huh.
Coke is 44 per 100, I think. So.
Okay. So for me, it doesn't taste so sugary. Maybe that's because the mint is overpowering everything. And I don't, yeah. Okay, anyhow, it's good. Where do I rank this?
Ooh, this is difficult. I think I'm gonna rank it as 7.4.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm in 6.5 land.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It's fine. I'm not reaching for this probably again. It's fine. If it's, it's like if there's a bunch of 6 to 7 ranked drinks, 50% of the time, I might pick this one. But if there's a 7 or like a 7 above drink around, it's probably not going to get picked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How did you rate last week's drink?
I'm going to be honest with you.
I
don't even remember what we drank last week.
No, it's the Calpus.
Yeah. The Calpus, that was like 3.4 or something. It was like, it was low. 2.5. It was low. It was low.
Yeah.
7.4
because I'm very much like I love mint things.
I would rather have the ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream, than this. It's fine. It's fine to try. It's fine to taste. If it's gonna have this much sugar in it, I'm going for that ice cream. I'm gonna go for that ice cream every time. Some people are asking about the FoxFibre T-shirt release. Let's just recap the show today. So there was the FoxFibre T-shirt release. We did it earlier in the stream. It sold out very quickly, as
we only
indicated
had, like,
by
9 units,
the flip
so,
clock here.
yeah.
So yeah, there wasn't many to work with, but I think the people who wanted it were here. They were ready to go, and they snatched those up live.
But for fall
Yeah.
release, which is coming up in the next,
Couple of weeks.
months.
Yep.
Not couple
Weeks.
weeks,
Yeah,
couple
weeks,
months. It will be way more.
Yeah.
We would have a lot of units and also two new colorways. They're all FoxFibre. This is iron Mordant treated with like iron, the material, and then this is the classic. It's got the 70 Fox
70B. So
it's got the highest amount of FoxFibre that we are comfortable with. Fox 80 is the highest number that exists, but like this is
a custom blend for us. And then this is the Fox 15. So a lighter blend.
Fox.
Yeah. So those, you got a lot of FoxFibre options coming soon. And then also in the same colorways, kind of. Maybe we'll get into the slight difference later on.
Yeah.
But
it's a long story.
We've got the Iron Mordant, the classic Fox Brown, and then the Ecru coming here in the heavyweight. Look how heavy these are.
Yeah, this is not Ecru.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not
Fox
Ecru.
15.
Yeah, but just look. I just want to do the drape test, just so you can see how it's a rock. It just boom. This is a beefy boy.
Heavyweight waffle.
So looking forward to that one. And they will also have the
real horn buttons.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do some more fall previews maybe next week. Any last questions? The Raven says super excited for the Iron FoxFibre. Us too. The Moore says, speaking about mint, exactly. I think Vitasoy makes a peppermint chocolate soy milk for Christmas. Well, there you go. Yeah. In the West, I feel mint is Christmas. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Solomon says, what about a burgundy t-shirt? Will that happen next season?
We're not planning on it, but that may happen in the future.
We won't shut the door on that idea. Okay. The Moore says, when is the Cashmere Henley coming?
TBD.
In the fall.
But
in the fall.
Sometime in the fall, but we don't know the dates yet.
Yeah. Next week, maybe we'll do a little bit of a more fall, coverage. So if you got questions surrounding
and you talked about the fall collection video dropping at some point.
Yes. Yeah. That'll probably happen in maybe late June.
All right.
Yeah. Just to give you guys a little heads up on what's coming out in a little bit more. I mean, if you've watched all these videos, you kind of know
exactly,
but it'll all be in one video with that one. So we're gonna leave it there, everybody. It's been fun. We're looking forward to hanging out with you again real soon. Last question. Elsie says, Bahzad, is that a Naked Famous shirt? Looks great. It's not. This is a vintage camo jacket. I had it for many years. I don't remember when and where I bought it, but I've had it for a long time. You know where I think I might have got this, actually? I think Montreal. There was that Army surplus store
yes.
on Saint Laurent.
Oh, yeah.
Was it on Saint
Laurent.
Yeah, Saint Laurent. It's downtown, real downtown.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but it's there's
a pretty good one.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool Army stuff. Go to your local surplus store. They always got cool stuff. I always find I walk out with something there.
Yeah.
It's beat up. This thing has holes in it and all kinds of stuff, but it's great.
It is great.
Yeah. Alain asks if we speak French.
No, we don't. But I am taking French on Duolingo.
Yeah.
Shout out Duolingo.
We both speak very basic French.
I don't speak it. I understand it.
Yeah.
Just maybe a little bit like your Japanese.
Yeah.
I understand way more than can comfortably speak.
I can't have a debate with somebody in French. I can get to the washroom. I can get around. If I have to ask a basic question, I got it. I can maybe understand. I can definitely understand your response better than I can respond to it. Did I say that right? I can understand you better than I can respond to it.
Yeah, most people with foreign language, they understand way better than they can articulate.
Yeah.
But I think we're both like at the place that like, I don't know. It's just like it feels like at certain point in the language learning that is the farthest apart. The listening and speaking.
Yeah.
I think we're at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, we spent a good amount of time in Montreal. I grew up in Canada. You learn a little bit of French in school.
I feel like I did not like improve on any French in Montreal.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. It happened.
I think I degraded my French.
No, not degraded. Alain says, I'm going to start emailing you in French.
Please don't.
If you want very bad responses, hit me up in French. It's going to be the most broken French.
It's like on email, so it's like you just put it in.
I guess I could translate it. Yeah. Anyhow, it's like my Japanese. Like last week we were out, just to, we'll round this up with some random topic. We were out and it was Matsuri. So like a little festival. And Risa got to, carry the big shrine on her shoulder.
Okay, fun fact. Those things weigh like about a ton. Like 1 ton, like 1,000 kilograms.
Yeah.
And it's way heavier and way harder on your shoulder. I have bruised shoulder.
Yeah, her shoulders are purple. Yeah,
dude, I could not carry a bag on my shoulder for like the first 3 days after.
So and it's a war just to get into like there's like 500 people around this thing, and everyone's trying to rush to like carry this thing, and then when you get in, you get to hold it for like 20, 30 seconds.
If you're not like carrying your own weight, they take you out. Like
they'll pull you out and throw somebody else in. So it's
serious.
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yeah.
And so we were there and met a lot of people, local people, and trying to converse my best, but it's usually like. So there's like kids around. They're like, "Oh, you speak English? Oh, talk to the kids." Like they want to like teach the kids English, and I'm just like my level of Japanese is like their level of English. So we like communicate on a similar level there. What do you like?
Enunciate.
Yeah. What is your favorite food? Okay, I could repeat that in Japanese back to you too. So anyhow. I'm working on it. Working on my French. Working on my Japanese. My Iranian is pretty good. I can speak Farsi decently. English, I know English. I'm good at that.
Oh yeah.
Some might say. Some might say.
That's most important.
Okay. Alain says, "Are you guys Japanese or Canadian?"
Canadian, Japanese.
There you go. You got a little bit of both right there. And we are based here in Yokohama, Japan. Okay, everybody, we're going to leave it there for you. We'll be back again next week. Same time, same channel.
Same time?
We'll discuss, but more than likely,
on this one, then we'll see.
If you want us to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, let us know. Maybe earlier in the week, I'll send out a survey. Maybe we'll survey the audience. Who knows? I like surveys. But let us know. If you want us 8 p.m., maybe we'll change it. It'd be better for us, to be honest with you, get a little more sleep. Or 7 p.m. But either way, you're going to know. You're going to know. We'll be here. See you guys real soon. Have a nice weekend. Do something nice for yourself and
somebody else.
There you go. We'll see you guys. All right. Bye, everyone.